Welcome world to Everybody Struggles. My name is Aaron, but everybody calls me Aboogie. We have a very special guest. We have the founder of Soul Selection and the creator of Everybody Struggles. We have Mr. Aaron Leon Brown. Thank you, man. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us. Man, thank you for inviting me. It's been a long time coming. I know we're dealing with, the pandemic. Everybody's dealing with the things that they're dealing with in life, and I think it's time for me to, talk about my story, and then also to come up with this, web series so people could start seeing that everybody's kind of struggling and dealing with things in life. So tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what you're currently working on. My name is Aaron Leon Brown. I'm 31 years old. I currently live in Los Angeles, California. I was born in Riverside, California, by the east side. I was raised in Berkeley with my parents. Right now, I'm actually working on a lot of different things. I got a run streak I'm going on right now where I'm trying to run at least 1 mile to 2 miles a day. I try to work out every day. I'm working on my business and getting my health right. And my business being Soul Selection, and of course this show, Everybody Struggles. How was it growing up where you grew up in? The interesting thing about my situation was I grew up without my father. I had my mother. And my grandparents and my aunt and my family and my friends. So I had a big village of people helping me, throughout my life. It was interesting too because I didn't have the stereotypical life that some people have. As far as the single parent thing, I had a lot of love, I had a lot of attention, and I had plenty of things that I didn't have to really worry too much as a child. So it was a blessing to have, my mom, my aunt, my grandparents, and the rest of my family. Tell us a little bit about the hardest thing you've ever been through in your life. So the hardest thing that I would say I had to deal with was my biological father not being in my life. It was tough as a child. There was things that I had to deal with. I got teased about it. There were certain things that I learned through it. With the guidance of my mom and my grandparents and my family. The beautiful thing is she told me that, it's not your fault, it's our fault, but what happened between the two of them, there was 3 sides of the story. It was, her side, his side, and what actually happened. So that kind of gave me a little closure and assurance. And the next thing was my grandfather passing away when I was 17. Because he was like my father figure that I had. He was somebody that was always there for me and would do whatever I needed, and he loved me unconditionally. And, without the love and the teachings that I have from him, I wouldn't care about other people in the community as much as I have now. And then the next thing is my stepdad divorcing my mom. It was probably some of the hardest stuff that I've ever dealt with. As far as not trying to be in the middle of things and, not trying to blame yourself for the situation. But, the simple fact that, he left my mom, that was a tough part, but the simple fact was that he left me too because of his own actions and some of the things that he's done. And I can't sit there and say that I was perfect in the situation. I said what I said, but, can you blame somebody for, leaving your mother again? But the last thing that kind of impacted me too as well was my last relationship. We went through a ton of different things. It was very hard. We were almost there and we could have made it, but, we put each other through too much stuff. There were things that I could have changed and there was things that she could have changed. But the beautiful thing is she helped me learn how to be unapologetically myself, to do the things that I really wanted to do in life. And it came to a point where she was just a little upset about some of the things, about me evolving myself and growing and trying to be the person that I needed to be. But I thank her because she helped me be myself, and she helped me do the things that I naturally want to do, whether it was throwing parties, whether it was writing, whether it was filming, whatever. She just was like, hey, do it. I see it. It's great. So the biggest thing is abandonment. There was 4 parts to, that impacted my life of people that I care about and people that I love that I lost, and they're no longer here. So being that you went through, your abandonment, what did you do to learn how to overcome it or actually live with the abandonment? I wouldn't say that I overcame it. It was more of learning to live with those situations, learning to understand that my grandfather's here with me in spirit, and he's probably more here with me than he's ever been in my life. And, with my biological father, it was, he missed out. It's not his fault. Those are things that he's dealing with in his life. And, at the end of the day, the only thing I can do for him is pray for him and, wish the best for him. And same thing with my stepdad and, my ex-girlfriend. It's just realizing that, there's people that are in your life for a reason and for a season too. So, unfortunately they're not around, with me right now, but, they've impacted my life tremendously. So I would just say just learning to live with, the abandonment. And now because I've learned to live with it, it's actually easier for me to lose people just because I am myself. So if people can't accept me for who I am, they can go. And if it's meant for them to come back, they'll come back. And if not, I learned something at the end of the day. The advantage is I got closer with my family and developed a good relationship with my nephew, sister, and her family. Okay. So now we want to jump into the next question. What are some of the life struggles you've had growing up to where you are now? So I like to break it down. For the human factor, it's love, life, relationships, family, friends, being a black person. Not only that, but being black and Mexican because my grandmother's family's from Mexico. Just having that conflict of, which one am I? Am I black? Am I Mexican? Or am I both? Walking outside and, is a police officer gonna kill me? Or, anything could happen to me. And what kind of woke me up recently was I got into this car accident and it was just the craziest situation ever. And the blessing was I had no injuries. The car was totaled, but the fact that I survived the situation with no scratches was just amazing. And then, dealing with COVID and family and, but my life struggles individually was just, being mixed, having light skin, curly hair, my lazy eye, the way that I walk, just the simple struggles of just trying to find peace in life and to be able to have acceptance. But those are some of the things that I had to deal with collectively, the abandonment, from friends and family, typical stuff that most people go through. Dealing with anxiety, stress, depression, having suicidal thoughts, thinking if something would happen to me, what people think of me, the harsh realities of mental illness. And how did you learn how to overcome those challenges and obstacles and struggles that you've been through? Like I said, as far as just becoming myself, being unapologetically Aaron and not really giving a fuck what people have to say about me, whether it's good or bad, because I'm the only person that knows myself. But then also too, every obstacle and every situation that you go through in life, if you learn something, you can evolve and grow and become the person that you're naturally supposed to be. So what I've done was take every obstacle situation, dissect it, break it down, look at it, and realize that there was a part where I did something wrong and there's something that I can change within myself to not do again. Even being vegan and, getting the right nutrients in my body. So now we want to dig a little deeper. What are your daily struggles? What are some of the things that are holding you back from your fullest potential? Daily struggles, procrastination, fear, anxiety, stress. Those are things that, depression, those are things that I deal with, my mental state, like how I feel physically. And those are things that I kind of check in and kind of figure out on my own. But, those are some of the things that kind of hold me back from, getting this project done. It's just the reaction of how other people feel about me. Like, it's just certain things that I just, wanted to sit down and kind of pay attention to. And so what do you do on a day-to-day basis that will help you overcome those challenges of procrastination. It's how I start my day. You start these rituals and these tasks and these things that kind of can help you and develop you into getting shit done. So what I do is I wake up, I'll lay in the bed for 30 minutes. I start my routine. I'll meditate, I'll read, pray, and then, every day I try to work out as much as possible. Some days it's one workout, other days it's two, sometimes it's 3 on Fridays, sometimes it's 3 days. And the farthest I've ever went was four workouts in a day. So it's just literally realizing that I'm here and, every day is a new opportunity for me to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. And so being that you've been through all the things that you've been through, what's your outlook on life now? My outlook on life right now is just appreciate what you have because things can be easily taken away. Recently, we're dealing with this pandemic. I've had car accidents. I've had, my cousin passed away, relationships, losing, a girlfriend, father, family, everything. It's just appreciate the things that you have because it can be taken away right away. And, to be yourself and always do the things that you feel like is right for you. And follow your heart. I think my biggest thing is what I've learned in these past few years is to follow your heart, but don't act on your emotions. What you do is you use your mind to think strategically and your gut tells you everything. So my biggest thing when it comes to that is just living the life that you're supposed to live. If you don't know what the life you're supposed to be living right now, this is the perfect time. It's 2021, 2020, whatever year or day it is. This is the time for you to sit down, acknowledge your emotions, figure out who you are, and find your purpose. Once you find your purpose, nothing can stop you. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned in my life is my purpose. God put me here on this place for a reason. And so right now, I'm trying to figure that out and go through it so that I can, help myself to help other people. And to also live in the present and stop living in the past. Being here today made me realize how much happier I am right now. My next question is, what's your ultimate goal in life? My ultimate goal is to be able to help people. I love helping people because I feel like I'm helping myself. It makes me stronger, it makes me feel great because I realize that everybody has a story. And not only that, everybody's struggling with something right now. The pandemic is a perfect example to let everybody know that we're dealing with something individually and collectively. And so now we have my last and final and favorite question. If you were to give somebody advice that has been through the things that you've been through or actually looks like you, what would you tell them? Just remember, God made you who you are for a reason, and God wouldn't put you through the things that you're dealing with if He knew you couldn't handle it. Those are the things that we have to kind of look at and kind of understand because we're here, we're creators, we're supposed to create. And if I were to give someone advice that's been through the things that I've been through, I'm sorry, you've been through what you've been through, but life goes on. I can't sit there and live in my past because what I'm doing is I'm holding off on my future. And I think that's the most important thing that I've realized is the procrastination aspect of life. You'll make it through. Just keep fighting because everybody out there is a survivor because of things that they've been through. And they're also a warrior because they fought to get to where they are now. And I think it's very important for people to understand that you're a warrior. And not only that, you're a creation of God. So that means you can do anything that you want in this world. And I think it's very important for people to understand things like that. And, I don't want to directly talk about somebody who looks like me or has been through the same situations. I'm talking about everybody. We're all dealing with something right now. And the beautiful part is we have each day 24 hours to change it. Not only change it, but live better. Whether it's your diet, whether it's, lifestyle, whether it's working out or reading or writing, meditating. Those are all the things that I do that help me become a better Aaron every single day. So just be yourself and love yourself unconditionally. I think it's very, very important for people to love themselves because we're all individually beautiful and collectively beautiful as a human race. Thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us and talk to us about your story. I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to finally do this. It was a long time coming. You know, for everybody out there, you know, follow your heart. Use your brain to guide you and trust your gut. It's just a way to live. You start understanding yourself more and you start seeing certain things that you've never seen before. And just have fun. Live your life, have fun, and just, you know, do the things that you're supposed to do. You'll feel it in your heart. But use your brain to guide you so you don't act on your emotions. For the next episodes, please hit the subscribe button, follow us on social media for any updates and news, and look out for everybody's struggles. Thank you.
I just want you to know you are not alone.